Mr. Becker.
Yeah.
Are you in dance class? No.
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Charlotte Latin's campus for today's field hockey matchup. That brings the Warriors from Weddington High School here against your Charlotte Latin Hawks. Before we introduce the starting lineups, we ask you to draw your attention to the flag in midfield for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Now let's introduce the starting lineups for today's match. First, for the Warriors. She's a junior defender, number 3, Olivia Jordan. Junior midfielder, number 4, Kate Murphy. Junior forward, number 6, Grace Brown. Senior defender, number 7, Remy Howard. Junior forward number 8, Paige Haichu. Senior defender number 11, Daniela Mitchell. Sophomore forward number 12, Emily Lund. Sophomore forward number 16, Catherine Keeney. Senior midfielder number 18, Logan Haley. Freshman forward number 20, Kaylee Tanichi. And in goal for the Warriors is freshman goalkeeper Charlotte Better. Warriors are led by head coach Sarah Heacock and assistant coach Katrina Lund. And now for your Charlotte Latin Hawks. She's a senior forward, number 2, Stella Burke. Sophomore forward number 5, Kingsley Hall. Junior forward number 7, Marion DeBose. Sophomore midfielder number 8, Margaret Pasecki. Senior midfielder number 10, Reese Morgan. Junior defender number 16, Bonner Kelly. Junior forward number 19, Charlotte Toon. Sophomore defender number 21, Anna Grace Farney. Freshman midfielder number 22, Kennedy Clutter. Sophomore forward number 28, Annie Heinzman. And in goal for your Hawks, sophomore goalkeeper, Marin Weirs. Hawks are led by head coach Joey Prestige, Mia Kane, Mary Yorksoak, and Michael Mendoza. Fans, if you have any friends or family that want to watch today's matchup, let them know that Hawks Media Production is live streaming on our website and YouTube channel. Go to clshawks.com or our Charlotte Latin YouTube channel to watch today's matchup. Thank you. that your choice of music? And hello fans, welcome to this afternoon's field hockey matchup. That brings the Warriors from Weddington High School here against your Charlotte Latin Hawks. Weddington is coming in with a 2-4 record with a recent game against Asheville Independent School with a 2-0 win. Your Hawks are coming in at 1-4 with a tough matchup last week. Lost to the Knights from Cary Christian here on Charlotte Latin's campus. The only common opponent that the Warriors and the Hawks have had has been the Cougars from Charlotte Catholic. Weddington lost to them 10-0, and your Hawks lost to them, 2-1 in overtime and 3-1. So we are looking forward here to a fun matchup this afternoon. It is a gorgeous afternoon here on Charlotte Latin's campus as we are going to get ready for this matchup. So here at midfield is going to be Anna Grace Farney as she's going to take a little bit of space, drop it back to Bonner Kelly. She saw our starting lineups out there. Bonner gets it up to Pasecki. Pasecki tried to feed that up ahead of DeBose, but DeBose just got a little bit too far, so that's going to go out of play. As we said, Weddington in their away green jerseys as they're going to be moving from left to right with your Hawks in their home whites. Moving from right to left as DeBose steals that one, tries to chip it up ahead. Daniela Mitchell is going to try to run it down as she's wearing one of the captain's sleeves. But Kingsley Hall is able to get it and going to draw a foul here. That's going to be just outside the arc, though. So Margaret Pasecki with a huge stroke as that goes all the way across corner. Annie Heitzman. Heitzman tries to get a deflection on it, but it's going to be cleared out by Mitchell. There's a first big opportunity there for your Hawks inside the zone. Weddington now moves across midfield here, trying to get a little bit of depth here on this pitch. As they send that over, that is Remy Howard. Howard now has it as she's going to try to chip this up ahead to number 4. That's Kay Murphy as the junior midfielder is going to try to slide that one across. That's cut off, though, by Morgan. Reese Morgan battling with it here, trying to have her stick flat on that turf to stop any progress. And Morgan's going to draw the foul, try to chip it up ahead, but Howard cuts that off. Remy Howard now tries to get that up ahead. Stella Burke is there to intercept the pass, and it bounces over to Bonner. Annie Heitzman now drops this back to Bonner. Annie and Bonner trying to toe that near sideline to clear it out of the defensive side. Kingsley Hall here and DeBose on this near side as well. That's number 22, Kennedy Clutter. Kingsley tries to feed that up ahead, but that's cut off. I believe that's number 18, Logan Haley. 5-yard warning there given to the Hawks, so Logan's going to slow things down here with the free start. And directs it to the right, and that's going to go down near the sideline, but it runs out of real estate as the Warriors just missed it, and it's going to be brought back in here from the Hawks. Actually, sorry, they're going to say the Hawks touch that. So it is bouncing in. Weirs is going to kick this out with a right boot. Send it up ahead to Morgan. Burke now has it. Burke now tries to slide this up ahead to Kingsley. And Kingsley runs out of real estate as Olivia Jordan now just sends this back to the defense. That is Haley. Clutter is going to try to cut this one off, but Daniela Mitchell was able to keep possession of it. It does slide over to Margaret. Pasecki tries to switch the pitch and get it up ahead to Bonner Kelly, but a little bit past her outstretched stick, and it's going to go out of play. Warriors have had possession for the last few minutes here on their side of the pitch, with just over 11 minutes to go here in this first quarter. I believe that is number 20. That's Kayla Tanichi, the freshman forward who is trying to find a little bit of space. She has Pasecki on her. DeBose comes up and tries for the double team there. Does bounce over to number 16. That's Catherine Keeney. And they are going to call the foul there on the Warriors, so the Hawks are going to take it up to their defensive side. Bonner Kelly tried to quickly transition, but sent it over top of the stick, and that's going to give the Warriors the ball. Back again here inside, that's Emery Lund, the sophomore forward, who's going to insert it. Emery now looks and tries to get it up ahead towards the middle, but that's cut off by Stella. Stella's going to try to take a little bit of space, chip it up ahead. Does go to Kingsley. Kingsley has room where she's going to throw it in the open room, and that's Charlotte Toon in a foot race. Charlotte now has it. She's going to inside the scoring circle. Gets around one defender, but a stick stop was there. That was number 3, Olivia Jordan, but then it hit off of Jordan's foot, and that will be a corner here for the Hawks. This will be their first corner. Anna Grace Farney has traditionally been inserting these corners all season so far for the Hawks. She will be to the right of freshman goalkeeper Charlotte Better. She's got Pasecki on her near pass. Hall and DeBose at the top of the circle. Gets it over to Pasecki. Margaret has it. She's going to try to take a big stroke, but that is deflected off of number 6, Grace Brown. As Brown was coming up ahead, the rebound does stay in play. Fed in front. Burke is there. She's going to try to chip it up ahead, but a huge save made there by Charlotte Better as she was able to get her paw up and with that padding on her hand, knock it out of play. Last touch by the Hawks, so the Warriors are going to try to bring this one in, but Kennedy Clutter intercepts that first pass. Foul is called, though, as Clutter tried to come in and grab it, so it will go back to the Warriors as they're going to set it on their defensive line. Olivia Jordan now has it, tries to swing this over to Mitchell. Daniela Mitchell now gets that over to number 6. I believe that's Grace Brown. Foul is called, though, if it hit off of Brown's foot. They're going to quickly try to go the other way. Hawks get it inside. That's cut off, though, and it's cleared away as Emery Lund was able to sweep it and just get that out of harm's way. This is number 8 here. That's Paige Heitschuh. Heitschuh now gets it up ahead to Remy Howard. But that was number 21. Anna Grace Farney was able to cut off that pass and draw the foul. So Anna Grace is going to have a little time and space. Just taps it over to Annie. Annie gets her hands crossed up, though, and she can't collect that pass, and it's going to go out of play. Here with just over 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Again, no score yet. Jordan's going to send us up the midfield. Sends that over to Haley. But Kingsley is able to draw the Warrior foul. Farney now has it back up to Kingsley. Kingsley now tries to get around one defender, but that second one is there, and that's going to be called on interference on the Warriors. So Farney now is going to be able to have the indirect. Farney sends it off a leg, and that didn't feel good. That hit off the padding with the captain stripe of Logan Haley. It hit a little bit too high, so it's going to turn over. Reese Morgan now is able to retreat. She's just going to flick it up into open space as Pasecki now gets it. Margaret Pasecki up to DeBose. DeBose tries to keep it on her stick as she dribbles around one defender, and she's going to move with a little bit of pace inside the circle. Tries to get a tap in front. It's bouncing around here now. Toon now tries to get a shot on it. Kingsley's in there, and that will be a corner. Second corner opportunity here in this first quarter for your Hawks, as Anna Grace Farney is going to insert this one to the right of Better. Hawks quickly try. They waste no time on these indirects inside the offensive zone. Last time she went to Pasecki right here on her near pass. Pasecki has a lot of pace behind her stroke shots on these circles. She gets it up ahead, though, to DeBose, and then over to Clutter. Kennedy tries to put one on it, but that's cleared out ahead there. Kennedy tries to feed it back in. Charlotte's there. Charlotte's going to try to turn and shoot, and that will be another corner opportunity given to the Hawks, their third of the afternoon. So they're going to shift a little bit here, and they're going to put Pasecki right beside Farney, moving Marion DeBose on that near pass shot. It goes over Pasecki with the close pass. Pasecki takes a shot looking for that far post, but that can't be deflected. And that does go out of bounds and turnover to the Warriors here. Again, with just under 6 minutes to go now, still no score. Nice play there by Charlotte as she gets it up to Kingsley. Kingsley's going to try to give and go back to Charlotte, but that is cut off there by number 3. That's junior defender Olivia Jordan. She's wearing one of the captain leg bands as well on this defensive side, along with Daniela Mitchell and number 7, Remy Howard. I also see number 18, Logan Haley. Stella Burke here now on the forecheck, trying to get a little bit of stoppage. That's cleared out, but it will roll out of play as Coach Prestige is just going to kick it back ahead to be able to get this inserted. Kennedy now has it. Kennedy's trying to get around a couple, throws it in open space. Stella Burke is there. She's going to try to grab it. That is swept out of the way, though, by Haley, and then back into the Hawks' offensive zone. Clutter feeds this up ahead to Margaret. Pasecki now with it. Pasecki's going to move towards the offense, gets around one defender. She's towing that end line. DeBose is now there trying to get possession of it, and that will be another corner on the stick foul. The 4th corner here for the Hawks. Already in this first quarter and looking to try to take advantage. So Farney now is going to insert this corner to the right of Better. She's got Pasecki right in front of her. Goes up top to Kingsley. Kingsley tries to take a stroke. That was deflected there by Reese Morgan, but that went up high. And it will give time for the Warriors to be able to retreat and pick this up and insert it from their defensive side. Another play there where Annie Heitzman was able to get that deflected and it went out of bounds. So Annie now is just going to step back and now insert this to the defensive line. Reese Morgan. Morgan's going to switch the pitch here over to Bonner. Bonner now has it as she's going to be able to have time and space. Flicks it up to Kennedy. Bouncing inside the scoring circle. Spinning swing there, and that follow-through went a little bit too high on DeBose. So that will be a foul, and the Warriors are quickly trying to transition, but Bonner Kelly steals that far pass, gets it up ahead to Pasecki. Pasecki now up to DeBose. DeBose is able to get around one as she's towing that end line, but a save is made. Kingsley Hall is there. She's going to try to have a backhanded sweep. Another save is made there by Betta. Stella Burke now, she's going to try to feed this one into the scoring area, and that will be a foul called, and it will turn over here to the Warriors. Little back and forth here now. Morgan tried to sweep that up ahead. Kingsley, though, is able to get possession of it, and she's going to try to dribble around one defender and pass that up ahead to Charlotte. Toon now has it as she's going to go on her backhand side. Nice pass up to DeBose. DeBose is looking for a little bit of space as she goes through a crowd, and that is a goal as Marion DeBose was able to feed that over to Charlotte Toon, and Charlotte Toon gets her 3rd goal of the season, her 1st of the game, as your Hawks are leading 1-0. Clock will be stopped here at 1:31. So we're going to restart it here now. Hawks goal, scored by number 19, Charlotte Toon. Again, that's Charlotte's 3rd goal here so far on the season. And that is the end of the first quarter. Actually, sorry. We are going to have our corner here. As we do see Charlotte Toon there, her first goal. Third there on the season. We will play out this corner, and this corner will play until the Warriors can get it out of the zone. Then the near pass over to Pasecki. Pasecki takes a solid stroke towards the middle, bouncing around here. Annie now has it, and Annie Heitzman, I believe, was able to get that one as she took a strong shot there, and Annie hit the back of the net. That is her 5th of the season. And at the end of 1, your Hawks now lead the Warriors 2-0. Okay, fans, we are back for the second quarter of action as your Hawks were able to get 2 goals late in that corner. First one by Charlotte Toon with the assist from Marion DeBose, and then the second one was off a corner there where Annie Heinzman was able to take a rebound and just bury it into the back of the net. So those were the 2 goals by your Hawks here in the first quarter, and we are underway now here in quarter number 2. Warriors have it in midfield, and they're going to slowly take the free start as they now fit that up ahead to Howard, but she couldn't get any room. Foul is called there on Clutter, though, so Howard's going to take the free start. Slides it over to Keeney. Keeney now tries to get it up ahead, but Reese Morgan's able to retreat. Morgan now just takes it over to time and space and gets that up ahead to Matt Miles. Madeline Miles now try to get around one defender, but that's cut off by Howard. And a foul will be called on Madeline, so it will be a free start here. Howard tried to chip that up ahead into the shooting circle, but ran out of real estate, so the Hawks are going to bring it up to the 16-yard line, where they're going to be able to have the free start. That 16-yard hit went over to Miles from Morgan, up to Hall. Kingsley now feeds it up to Clutter. Kennedy Clutter now trying to dribble around with it. Pressure on her by Haley. Clutter wins that one, though, up to Burke. Stella Burke now here with it. Stella's going to try to find a little bit of space as she tries to push that up ahead. Clutter now, though, intercepts that outlet pass. Over to Haley. Haley's going to spin. Nice play. Morgan tried to come up and cut off that, but Miles is able to retreat and get possession of it. Now Howard has it, though, for the Warriors, and she's going to flip that up ahead over to Paige Hitshoe. Howard now with it. Howard's going to try to slide that up, but cut off again by Farney and up to Miles. A little tic-tac-toe passing here now, where Clutter's going to slim this up ahead to Stella. Stella now with it as she's going to try to take a few touches with it as she gets across midfield in open space. Tries to take a big stroke. That hit off the leg of Mitchell, and they're going to be able to keep going. Definitely doesn't think that felt too well, as the field hockey ball just does not give it all. Hawks now trying to get this deeper in the zone. Burke now has it as she gets it up to DeBose. Marion's going to slide us over to Margaret. Margaret inside the shooting circle now. Looking for a little bit of space to try to draw a corner, and she does. That's going to be the 5th corner so far here for the Hawks, as they have a 2-0 lead. So Farney now is going to scan things over here. Pushes this up ahead to Pasecki. Margaret has a little bit of space and hands a shot. That goes far post, but it rolls up the stick there of Stella Burke. So that will turn it over, as this will be a 16-yard hit here from the Warriors. They're going to try to slide that across over to number 6, Grace Brown. Brown has a little bit of space. DeBose puts pressure on her, though. And it hit off a Warrior's foot, so that'll quickly turn over here. Burke wastes no time as she gets it up to Marion. Marion's going to try to take a stroke. That took a bounce and just went out of play over the end line. Okay, we're back here as that one just went over the end line, and now the Warriors are going to take it to the 16-yard to get that hit, slide it over across, but that's cut off again by this forecheck here from the Hawks. They just keep putting pressure, not letting the Warrior defense get this out. Burke slides it over across inside the scoring circle and will draw another corner. This will be the 6th corner here as the Hawks are going to try to extend their lead. Oh, nice move there. That was number 12. Virgin McLeod, the freshman midfielder, now into the game. She tried to get around one defender, but does draw the foul. Bonner Kelly's now going to step up and try to insert this into the circle. I believe that's Clutter there now, and Farney trying to keep this in. McLeod now slides it up to Farney, and that will go out of play. So it's going to go to the top of the offensive zone where the Hawks cleared out now by the Warriors defense as they're going to be able to get a little bit of space and move the other way until Reese Morgan cuts this off. Anna Grace is now there. She's going to try to keep it moving. Clutter now has it. Kennedy is going to push this one up ahead to Stella. Stella looking for a little bit of room as she throws it up into space to Marion DeBose. DeBose tried to find a little bit of room, but it takes a bounce off her foot. And that obstruction foul will turn it over here to the Warriors. DeBose, though, immediately intercepts that pass. She's going to go in, and Marion DeBose is going to finish. So at 7:51 remaining here in the first half, your Hawks now extend their lead. That's Marion's first goal of the game and her 6th on the season, as the junior forward now helps the Hawks go out to another 3-0 lead. Kingsley now sends that ahead. A little bit too far as the Warrior defense is going to cut that one off. Nice backhanded sweep up in front. There's room for DeBose again. And Marion DeBose finds the back of the net. And with 7:15, Hawks now lead 4-0. With Marion DeBose's second goal of the game and her 7th on the season. Before I could even get the graphic changed or announced to the fans here in attendance, Marion DeBose finds the back of the net. Hawks' last goal scored by number 7, Marion DeBose. Abby Hanna now checking into the game here, number 4. She's at the near side of the camera, over to Miles. Madeline Miles now takes a big stroke, but that hit off of Abby's leg. Sure, that didn't feel good at all, and that's going to turn over here to the Warriors. They're going to try to get a little deeper. That's number 16, Catherine Keeney. Keeney tries to slide it down the near sideline and gets up to Haley. Nice steal there, though, by Kennedy Clutter. Clutter's going to try to feed this, but it's cut off again by Keeney. That's McLeod now over to Miles, and a pass up to Hanna. Abby Hanna now has a little bit of open room, and she's going to try to dribble around one defender. Works back to the middle and up front over to Charlotte. Charlotte, too, now has it. As the two-sport athlete is going to try to find a little bit of room over to Miles. Miles now tries to get inside the shooting circle, and it took an unfortunate bounce off a defender, number 2, Chara Chow. And that will be the 7th corner here now for your Hawks with just over 6 minutes to play here. As Anna Grace Farney will now insert this one. Goes up top to DeBose. DeBose chips that, but that's cut off there by the defense. Charlotte's there with a rebound. Charlotte tries to feed one in, and it does go in as Charlotte Toon is able to hit the back of the net for her second goal of the game. That will be her 4th on the season as the junior forward helps extend now to 5-0. So Warriors now here are going to start again. And that was Sydney Query in the game as she tried to keep possession of that, towing across midfield, but just ran out of a little bit of room. So the Warriors are going to be able to insert this one, taking the free start. Cut off, though, by the Bows, up to Toon. Charlotte Toon now here going with confidence at that top part of the sideline, and she's going to work inside the shooting circle. Charlotte Toon tries to feed it in front, but that's cut off there by the Warriors. Hawks goal, scored by number 19, Charlotte Toon. Another one fed in front. Heitzman's there. Charlotte was there trying to get goal number 3, but it hit off her foot, and that's going to turn over to the Warriors on their defensive side. And I did miss that last one there. Marion DeBose was able to hit the back of the net. And that will extend the Hawk lead to 6. That will be Marion's 3rd of the game and her 8th on the season. Hawks goal, her 3rd of the game, scored by number 7, Marion DeBose. So now the Hawks really coming out strong here. In this second quarter, just flying around, getting 4 goals already. Warriors now going to try to press on the other side, but Reese Morgan cuts that off, sends it up ahead to Sydney Query. Cut off, though, by Haley. Logan Haley's going to flick that up ahead. That's to number 20, Kayla Tamichi. Tamichi tried to keep possession of it, but that doesn't, and Annie Heitzman's going to be able to take a nice touch with it, and she's going to stop and try to flick this up ahead. Tries to get it towards that near defender, but that's cut off by number 19, Madeline Lodge. Foul is called there on the Hawks. So Lodge now tries to feed this up ahead, but Miles cuts that off. Miles is going to take a big stroke with it, but that does go a little bit too high, and foul was called. And they are going to call the foul on the Warriors. So Anna Grace Farney takes the free start, and she's going to dribble with it a little bit and up to Annie. Annie now has it. Annie's going to try to flick this up ahead. It's bouncing around, not off a foot yet, and now it does as it hits off a Warrior's foot. Anna Grace Farney wastes no time, and she's going to set it down, takes the indirect over to Miles. Miles back to Anna Grace. Anna Grace now tried to get a little give-and-go action here, but Madeline just ran out of real estate, and that will go out of play. So this will be inserted here by number 19, Madeline Lodge, a senior defender. Warriors now trying to play around with it here to get it out of harm's way. As clock is running, under 2 to play here. And they are going to call that foul on the Warriors, so they're going to let Weddington get set up here with a little confusion there on the foul call. And I believe it's either going to be Miles or Morgan to start with this one. Actually, Anna Grace Farney will take it at the sideline. Anna Grace steps in with it over to Madeline. Madeline tries to take a stroke up into the scoring circle, but it does hit off a Weddington foot. That was Grace Brown's. So this will be the 8th corner here from your Hawks. Just over a minute to play here in this first half. Hawks leading 6-0. 3 goals by Marion DeBose, 2 by Charlotte Toon, and 1 by Annie Heitzman. And the Hawks are going to try to tally at least one more here in this first half. So Anna Grace Farney with it. She's going to go up top to Madeline. Madeline tries to corral it, takes a solid stroke, but that's cut off there by the Weddington defense. Stolen away and a backhanded sweep there by Morgan, but that follow-through on it is going to be called dangerous and turnover here to the Warriors with about 35 seconds remaining here. So at the end of the first half, the Hawks lead the Weddington Warriors 6-0. We're going to pause here for halftime, and we will be back here with some second half action. Okay, fans, we are back here now for the second half of action as your Hawks are leading the Warriors from Weddington 6-0. Again, 3 goals from Marion DeBose, another 2 from Charlotte Toome, 1 from Annie Heintzman, and that is the 6th we have. So we are going to change sides here. Sydney Query now has it at the bottom of your screen. She's going to try to flick this up ahead to Kingsley, but sends it a little bit too far, and that's cleared out by Logan Haley. Bonner Kelly now with it. Bonner's going to try to throw it. That's cut off there by Kieran Feeney. This is also now number 17, Ali Kotzmov. Thrown up ahead to Charlotte. Charlotte's going to try to get possession of it. Charlotte's able to get around one, but a late whistle there. So they are going to give a free start here for the Hawks, but it's going to be outside the zone. So Margaret now has it. Pasecki's going to take a strong stroke. That goes far post. Put back in front. Fed, but another 2 saves are made by Charlotte Better. And she was able to block both of those. Great opportunity for the Hawks. It looks like on the far post was number 4, Abby Hanna. Tried to feed that one in, but Better was able to make the save, the freshman goaltender for the Warriors. Miles takes a stroke attempt, but that's cut off there by number 4, Kate Murphy. Stolen away by Annie. Annie Heitzman now has it. She tries to get it deep inside there, but now cleared out by Murphy. And a battle there between Miles and number 15, Ashley Wolf. Foul's going to be called there on Weddington, so the Hawks now have it. Pasecki now is going to get inside the shooting circle, but that is cleared away by Catherine Keeney, and a foul will be called there on Margaret on the follow-through, I believe. Calling it a dangerous situation with her stick, so that will now turn over. So now Pasecki now has it, slides this over to her. That's over to Alley, over to Query now. Kingsley now looking. Abby Hanna now again on that far post, but just couldn't feed it over to Hanna. And that will be cleared out. Last touch by the Warriors, so the Hawks are going to take it at the top of the zone again for this free start. Pasecki tries to dribble inside a shooting circle, takes a solid stroke over to Hanna. But that does just bounce off our stick and out of play, and that will turn over here to the Warriors with 12 and a half minutes to go. Actually, correction, sorry, they are going to keep it here with Hawks possession. So Pasecki now is going to set this one down. Slides this over to Miles. Madeline with it. But foul will be called as Haley tried to clear it out. And the official's going to slow things down. Hawks just continuing to put pressure on here, and as soon as I say that, a foul is called, and the Warriors are going to try to chip this up ahead. That's cut off, though, by Bonner Kelly. Haley's there as Logan tries to get that a little bit deeper across midfield for the Warriors. But that can't go. Reese Morgan was there, but a foul called, and it will be a free start. Haley now has it. Logan Haley's going to try to feed this up ahead. That's cut off by Heintzman. And he takes a solid stroke with it, but number 4, Kate Murphy, was quickly able to stop that. And with under 11 to play, Heintzman now is going to have this free start here in midfield. Drops it back over to Morgan. Morgan over to Pasecki. Pasecki's able to keep possession of it as she dribbles around midfield. Is going to try to throw it down here to Hall. Kingsley with it. Kingsley's going to now look for Query. Sydney now has it. Sydney's going to flick this up inside the shoot. Hawks goal, her third of the game, scored by number 19, Charlotte Toon. So Charlotte and Marion, the two juniors now, with 3 goals apiece, as we'll reset the clock here at 8:30 and running. So a foul will be called, and this will give it here to the Hawks, where Allie now has it, and Allie slides it up to Margaret and up to Annie. Annie now is going to try to feed this up to Charlotte. Charlotte tries to flick that over a defender's stick, but that stopped. Does bounce back to Kingsley. Kingsley now is able to get that on a little chip over around inside the circle, bouncing on the turf over Charlotte. Charlotte's going to try to feed that far post, but a foul will be called, and that will turn over to the Warriors, where the Warriors are going to set it down and have a 16-yard hit here. Kingsley Hall now. Hall with it. Save made there by Better. Fed back inside. Allie now with it, but now it's going to be cleared out by the Warriors with a little bit of space until Burgeon McLeod now has it. Burgeon's going to try to dribble in space to get around a couple defenders, feed it in front over to Margaret. Pasecki has a little bit of room, and she gets inside the shooting circle, and that solid stroke hits the back of the net. I don't know if Charlotte Toon was able to get a stick on it. The way they're celebrating, they're all going to Margaret. So we're going to give that one to Margaret Persecki as she gets her 5th goal of the season and her first of the game. And your Hawks now leading 8-0. Hawks goal scored by number 8, Margaret Pasecki. Solid stroke there as Pasecki was able to get inside the shooting circle and quickly let it rip from the top. And Toon was there to try to get a deflection on it, but I don't think it was needed at all, as Margaret was able to hit the back of the net. Another solid attempt there by the Hawks. That one just hit off the side of the cage, though, and went out of bounds. So that will be a 16-yard hit that will be awarded. Actually, excuse me, they're going to say that did hit off a defender for the Warriors. So Hawks are going to bring it out to the top of their zone to have this here free start. Pasecki now with it as she sets it down on the turf. Miles able to get that one out of the air, get it down onto the turf, and get a solid stroke on it. But a big save there made by the Warriors defense and cleared this out. Warriors are going to try to transition, but Pasecki works back quickly and gets a tip. Now McLeod's there. Burgeon now gets us up to Annie. Heitzman now with it. She's going to stutter step and feed it into the scoring circle, where now another foul is going to be called, and that will be a penalty corner. This will be their 10th of the game. And I believe they're going to have Miles insert this one to the right of Better. Kingsley now with it. Bouncing around. Better with a kick save as she kicks it out with her right boot. Back to Kingsley. Kingsley now trying to find a little bit of space, and a foul will be called, so that will turn over here. Warriors now trying to find a little bit of space. That's cut off now. Kosimov now. Alley trying to battle with it, but the Warriors are going to throw this one up ahead. McLeod now, though, is able to steal that one. Burgeon tried to fit through two defenders. Interference will be called, though, on the Warriors. Inside the scoring circle, another kick save there. Burke with another shot. Stella had two great opportunities, but two saves made there by Charlotte Better as she was able to get her pad on it and kick that out of harm's way. Last hit off the Warriors and went out of play, so that will move up to the top of the zone where Margaret Pasecki is going to start with this one with about 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Kosimov now has it, tries to slide this one back. It's going to be cleared out there. That's number 7, Remy Howard. Howard takes a stroke, but Pasecki cuts that one off and just feeds it back inside the zone. Over to Miles. Miles now gets it up to Annie. Annie battling there with it. There's Kingsley. She's trying to keep it in deep, and another penalty corner here will be awarded. This is the 11th for your Hawks. Again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in to Hawks Media Production as your Hawks are hosting the Warriors from Weddington High School. And he goes near side here to Margaret. Margaret slides this over to Kingsley. Kingsley tried to take a stroke on that, but she can't. That's stopped. She does get the rebound. It's bouncing around here, and the Warriors are trying to clear this off. Both Stella Burke, Kingsley Hall, Reese Morgan, and Madeline Miles all in there trying to get a feed on it to hit the back of the net, but they do win another penalty corner. So Miles will have this one inserted to the right of Better. I see Pasecki to her near pass. Top of the zone is Kingsley Hall. Annie Heitzman slides it over to Pasecki. Margaret lets it get inside his zone, over to Kingsley. Kingsley now takes a stroke, bouncing around. Charlotte tries to kick it out. It's in her feet, and that does hit the back of the net, as I believe Stella Burke does get the goal there, as the senior picks up her first of the game, and that's her 6th on the season. And your Hawks are now leading 9-0. Hawks goal scored by number 2, Stella Burke. Hawks again now back in the zone here. Burke has it. Burke's going to try to chip that up ahead, but that hit off the side of the cage. And after they're deflected off a defender's stick, that is going to now go to be on the top of the offensive zone here for your Hawks. So this corner is going to happen as the clock is ticking down at the end of the third. We will play this corner out. Now Pasecki now has it, takes a solid stroke, and that's going to go all the way out, and that will end the third quarter. So with your Hawks leading 9-0, we're going to pause here for a few minutes, and we'll be back for the final quarter of action. Okay, fans, we are back here now for the fourth quarter of action. Your Hawks with 9 on the board. Again, 3 from Charlotte Toon, 3 from Marion DeBose, 1 each from Stella Burke, Margaret Pasecki, and Annie Heitzman. As DeBose now is going to try to feed that up ahead to Hall, but she runs out of real estate, so it was last touch, though, by the Warrior defense. Burgeon now with it. She's going to try to get this in the middle, but that's cut off and fed up ahead. This is number 20 now with it. That's Kayla Tanichi. But now Anna Grace Farney steals that one. Anna Grace Farney feeds it up ahead to Burke. That is Burke and Olivia Jordan battling with possession as it goes into the defense where Burgeon McLeod is able to grab it, and she's going to try to throw it up ahead. Kingsley Hall now with it. She feeds it inside the scoring circle. Sydney Query's there. Query's going to try to get a little bit of space to keep it in front. It does stay in play as a number of Weddington defenders were trying to clear that. That was number 7, Reemi Howard, with the last touch, but it does go out of play, and they're going to say, I think that was last touch by the Hawks. Nope, correction, that was the Warriors. I wasn't going to argue with the official, but looked pretty clear there that the Warriors last touched that one. So it's going to be brought in. Pasecki now with it. Pasecki's going to spin and fire, but she gets that one stopped by the Warriors defense, and a foul will be called after it hits up high. Bounces around, and it's going to go wide. Abby Hanna is there, but Hanna just can't stop it as it bounces out of play. So, with here in the fourth quarter, Hawks continuing to put pressure on here. Here's now senior forward Stella Burke trying to find the back of the net again, but a foul will be called on an interference call, and that will turn over here where the Warriors going to set it down at the 16-yard and be able to have this insert. Little sweeper there. Annie Heitzman, though, stops that one. Warriors trying to flick it up ahead. Couple fouls here back and forth on the Hawks. So this is number 6 now, Grace Brown. Brown's going to take it at the top of the zone for her free start. Burke is able to get a stick on that one. That hit pretty solid, and it went out of bounds. Kingsley Hall here now with it, as she's going to flick that up ahead to Stella. Stella's able to use great positioning, trying to feed a little bit of room, and she does draw the interference call. Off the off-ball push there from a defender on the Warriors, so that will be another corner, as Anna Grace Farney now is going to come back in and insert this one to the right of better. This is also the 14th corner that the Hawks have had so far today. Slide the near side, over to Margaret. Margaret trying to find room, over to Kingsley. Kingsley tries to take a swipe at it, but she can. It does go to DeBose. DeBose is going to hit a bouncer in front of the net. Clutter's there. She's going to try to find room. Kingsley's trying to get it deep, and it looks like the Warriors are going to keep this out as the Warrior defenders all flip their masks out. So Daniela Mitchell now is going to start with this one. Mitchell scans the field before bringing it in play. Takes a few dribbles. Kingsley now battling with it there with number 7, Reemi Howard. And that foul will be called there on the Hawks. And a 5-yard foul will be called on the Hawks, so the Warriors going to reset. Trying to take a bouncer up. Pasecki, though, cuts that one off. Margaret here now with it. Margaret is able to spin and does draw the foul. They are going to call an offensive foul, though, on that. So now Remy Howard here with it. Howard now trying to find a little bit of space. And that's now Kennedy Clutter. Kennedy now has a lot of room. Able to flip that up ahead to Stella. Stella Burke here now with it as she's working this right side. Looking into the shooting circle. Gets it up ahead to Kingsley. Kingsley now looking for space as she steps on over a stick and was able to find room in there. But that's going to be cleared out by the Weddington Warrior defense. Not until, though, the Hawks are able to get it back inside the zone and draw a penalty corner. So this will be their 15th as the Warrior defenders go and grab their masks. One thing, I think if I was a defender, I'd always be wearing one of those, not just on these penalty corners. Slides it over to Pasecki. Pasecki now has a solid stroke there, but that's blocked away by number 6, Grace Brown. And the Warriors try to chip this one out. Kosimov, though, is able to keep this inside here for the Hawks. Over to Pasecki. Margaret now is going to try to slide this over to McLeod. Burgeon now, she's going to get this inside the shooting circle. Over to Kingsley. And another corner will be assessed. This is the 16th, I believe, here unofficially. I apologize for the live stream clock as we are at 8 minutes remaining here in this contest. Your Hawks leading 9-0. So Farney now will insert this one. She goes near side to Pasecki. Pasecki back to Anna Grace. Over to Marion. DeBose now, solid stroke there, but that's blocked away, I believe, by number 18, Logan Haley. Hit a little bit too high up on Haley's stick, though, so she will be charged a foul, and that will be another penalty corner here for your Hawks. Again, as the clock is running. Farney now is going to insert this one to the right. She goes up to the top of the zone to Kingsley. Kingsley now looking for space, and she works in the middle, and that's a bouncer that hits up high, and that is going to turn over with that shot going a little bit too high on the follow-through. But Burke now is able to steal that insert, and a foul will be called as that pass just rolled up the stick of Kingsley Hall, and we'll turn over to Weddington here. This is number 11, Daniela Mitchell. Mitchell now is going to try to feed this one up ahead to Catherine Keeney. Stolen away, though. Believe that was by Anna Grace Farney. And the Warriors are going to try to push ahead here. That is number 20, Kaylee Tanichi. Nice retreat there, though, by Burgeon, as Burgeon was able to retreat back and put some defensive pressure on her. But a foul will be called there on the Hawks. So that will turn over and give Weddington possession on their offensive side. Just under 6 minutes to play here. Haley now slides that up ahead. That's number 12, Emery Lund. Lund's going to try to get that in the shooting circle, but that's cut off. Marion DeBose tried to go with it, but ran out of real estate on his near side. So Haley now tries to get it in again. Margaret Pasecki, though, with a nice stop, as she's able to keep her stick on the turf there and try to tap that up ahead. Over to Burke. Stella Burke with another stop there. But a foul will be called after it hit off a foot of a defender and immediately thrown up ahead to Kennedy Clutter. Clutter now with it. She's going to be moving quickly down this right side into the shooting circle. Pass in front to Kingsley. Takes a bounce over Kingsley's stick. She gets possession of it again, takes a shot attempt, and hits it off a defender's foot. And that will be the 18th corner so far of the evening for your Hawks, as they are just dominating here on these penalty corners and shot attempts, especially in the second half. It was a 1-0 game as we were in stoppage time at the end of the first quarter. The Hawks were able to convert on that corner to go at the end of the first, up 2-0. But then these second and third quarters have just been the offense continuing to group together. Solid stroke there is made, but that does go out of play, as they've had a number of different goals in different fashions, both off odd person breaks, deflections put in, and strong strokes from the top of the shooting circle. So Jordan now is going to start with this one. Olivia Jordan now scans the field, tries to slide it up to her right. It's going to be a foot race here. Bonner Kelly able to retreat, and I believe Bonner's going to be called for the foul. She is. So the free start here was taken. And again by the Warriors, they slowly just try to work their way up forward. Pasecki retreats, though, and she's able to regroup to grab it. And another foul will be called, though, as the Warriors are just being able to draw foul calls that chip their way down the pitch. So 3.5 minutes remaining. Farney now with it, try to get that up ahead, but that's cut off again by the Warriors. That's number 1 now, Kennedy Howard, who tries to fight this in as she's battling with Annie Heintzman inside a shooting circle, and that will be a foul called on the Hawks. So this will be their first penalty corner of the afternoon, as Weddington's going to insert this one. I believe this will be Logan Haley. She's going to go to the left of goalkeeper sophomore Maren Weirs. So it's inserted up top to Keeney. Keeney now needs to try to work it back in the circle over to Haley. Slid in front. Bouncing around here, but Farney is able to try to come up and corral it. And Anna Grace is able to dribble with it outside the shooting circle to get it out of harm's way. Haley, though, throws it back inside, and that's cut off by Bonner Kelly. Bonner now tries to look for room as she slides this up to Anna Grace. Anna Grace now spins and just chips this up ahead. Kingsley now is there, and she's able to dribble around one defender. Kingsley Hall now works back to the middle. She's going to take a solid stroke, and a deflection to put inside the scoring circle is by Kennedy Clutter. Back over to Kingsley. Kingsley now with it. Takes a stroke. Up to Marion. 2 minutes and rolling here. Your Hawks trying to get a goal here in the fourth quarter. Been held scoreless in this quarter so far. Weddington now is going to try to force that up ahead, and that's Bergen. McLeod now is able to draw the stick foul. So she's going to place it down on the turf over to Annie. Excuse me, that's Allie. Both Kosimov and number 13, Kieran Feeney, battling for possession, and a foul will be called. Tried to flee that up ahead, but Hawks are able to steal this one. DeBoe's able to go through a defender's legs. Gets it up the Hall. Kingsley now with it. Kingsley's going to try to get inside, but Haley is there as Logan Haley is going to take that one out of harm's way. But back to Kingsley. Kingsley now dribbles it inside the scoring circle. Working to her right, but being cut off by two defenders there on her right side. Bounces here over to Anna Grace. And Madeline. Big shot there by Anna Grace, but that can't be all the way through. It's cut off by the Weddington defense. Slid up ahead to Howard. Kennedy Howard tries to spin around to find some real estate, but Anna Grace Farney cuts that one off. 25 seconds and ticking here. Heitzman now spins with it, feeds it inside the scoring circle. Over to DeBose. DeBose over, and that does hit the back of the net as Kennedy Clutter gets her first goal of the game, and that's her first on the season. So with 3 seconds and running, your Hawks are victorious 10-0. That last Hawks goal scored by number 22, Kennedy Clutter. Again, fans, we'd like to thank you for all coming out this evening for our field hockey matchup. Help keep our stadium clean by throwing